This is an old school, new school special report. Emergency podcast. Rick Wolf, joined as always by yours truly, Noah Savage. We had to get together and get this done.
Why is this an emergency?
Because so much has happened in the last couple of days, and I'm going away. Business.
Yeah.
Another wedding. We couldn't leave the people without a old school, new school to get through their work week.
Let's get into it. We're going to talk first. You want to talk about Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
All right. Do you follow basketball at all, Noah?
A little bit.
All right. Let me tell you what's going to happen with Carmelo Anthony. First of all, I don't know what in the world Oklahoma City was thinking about, but this guy is, if you've watched the Knicks play in the last 6-7 years, all Carmelo Anthony has evolved into is like what I call a designated hitter of basketball. He just shoots. He doesn't play defense. He's too slow. He never passes the ball. All he wants is give me the ball. I will put it up 30, 40, 50 times a game so I can still say, hey, look, I'm averaging 27, 30 points a game. I should be an all-star. No, you are the reason why the Knicks are impossible to watch and why they just can't get in the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. So for Oklahoma City to say, yeah, sure, he's an all-star. Let's bring him in here. And he'll compliment Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. No, they'll find out very quickly this guy is a part-time player making huge money.
Let me explain this to you for someone who doesn't clearly understand basketball. This is almost like buying – do you understand real estate?
Yes.
This is like buying a house in Westchester that needs a new lawn. And you're getting it for $100,000. But if you put in – you sod the lawn, it's in $1 million house. I mean, they traded – Oklahoma City gave up Enes Kanter, who's basically an orange cone on defense, and he's a pretty good offensive player, and Doug McDermott, who I could check into a game right now and be as good as Doug McDermott. He's a freaking 6'9", slow white guy who shoots threes but doesn't even make them at an impressive clip.
And a second-round pick. And they have to pay Carmelo Anthony.
But here's what I don't understand is if you're the Knicks – and
I don't understand the analogy to my lawn, by the way.
Because they got him for pennies on the dollar. They got Melo. It's not like they gave up Paul George to get Melo. They gave up Melo for 2 rotation guys and a pick. Who cares? Now you have 3 superstars.
I'm telling you, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out.
So you're saying good riddance from the Knicks perspective.
Absolutely.
And you're morons from the Oklahoma City perspective.
Correct.
All right, so let's step – I'm not totally – I don't think I agree with that because
you think for a second you watch Carmelo play.
Yeah,
this is not a young pup who's 21 years old. Do you think he's going to go into OKC and just say, "Sure, I'll do whatever you want. I'll play defense. I'll hustle. I'll get in shape"? No, he's going to say, "Here I am. I'm an all-star. I get a lot of shots a game. I got a lot of touches. Just get me the ball, Russell."
Let me break this down.
That's not going to happen.
There are 3 versions of Carmelo Anthony. Okay. There is the Knicks Melo, stinks, holds the ball the whole possession, no D, doesn't really care about winning.
That's who he is.
Then there's Olympic Melo. When he's around all good players, he raises his game and actually plays the right way. We've seen this in the Olympics. The last Olympics, he was excellent. It was almost like when Barkley played on the Dream Team. He wanted to impress his peers, so he raised it. So I think
you're hoping that's going to be Olympic.
You put him with Westbrook and you put him with Paul George, and all of a sudden he has peers that he respects.
Oh, please.
We've seen that he doesn't respect guys like Jeremy Lin.
We're going back. Now you bring it back
I'm going to bring up 2 turning points.
Who respect? Kyrie Irving and LeBron James.
He loves LeBron, by the way. LeBron and Melo are boys.
But he's not playing for Cleveland.
But here's the point. He respects guys who he thinks are on his level or better.
Oh, please. Okay.
So the guy who just won the MVP is his new teammate.
Yeah, I hear it.
It's a little different than, the Spaniard who literally should have retired 5 years ago, who was point guard.
What's the third version of Carmelo?
The third version is, of course, Hoodie Melo, which, do you know about this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So on Instagram and Twitter, Carmelo Anthony has been working out in these elite workouts.
Yeah.
This guy Brinkley works out guys, and they play pickup, and actually – my buddy Zahir Carrington was in the game guarding Melo. Name drop alert. So Melo all season long, even though he's in the summer, has been working out in a hoodie. And he's been killing dudes. And Hoodie Melo has no conscience. He puts it up every time, and it's on fire. And that's the Melo that's going to Oklahoma City.
That sounds like the first version.
But hold on.
Well, wait a minute. Answer that.
What?
He just puts up all the time?
Yeah, but that's fine. If you put him in a position – where when he gets the ball, he's like a Vinny Microwave Johnson type. Like, hold on. If you ask him to score and that's his role, that's good.
But he's going to be what he's going to be in Oklahoma City is a guy who comes off the bench to give you quote unquote
Off the bench? No. He's going to be option 2 or option 3. But tell you what he won't be doing that he did for the Knicks all the time is bringing it up.
Oh, stop!
It's good. It's like this. It's like this. You put a number 1 hitter in baseball in the 4-hole, and you go, hit home runs, man. He goes, I can't. That's not what I do. He's a scorer, so let him score.
He is. We'll obviously have a chance to revisit this in a few months, but I'm telling you, they're going to very quickly see this guy is old. He's a one-dimensional player at this point in his career. He's not going to play defense. He won't get back on defense. He's not going to rebound for you. He says, I do one thing, and that's one thing I do, and I score. But I need a lot of shots. And I'm just telling you that they're going to quickly realize this guy is better served for that team off the bench in a 6-man role because he's not going to keep up with Westbrook and the rest of the guys.
Let me tell you something, though. I think with that team and also with the Rockets.
Remember, with the Olympics, he also was a guy who came off the bench.
I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, 04 maybe.
I'm telling you, man, he came because there's so many stars in the Olympic team that obviously they shared time.
I'm not buying it that you throw a bunch of stars together, it's going to work. I could fully see Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony in about December. The story's coming out that they're not happy with each other because they both hold the ball too much. And because remember, Westbrook used to have a teammate named Kevin Durant, and he went to Golden State because he couldn't get the ball from the guy.
Telling you, that's what's going to happen.
Hold on, I need to make 2 points. There were 2 turning points in Carmelo's career that really sent him and derailed him and sent him off to the deep end. Number 1, he was leading the league in scoring in Denver. He got in a giant brawl and a melee, which I believe was at the Garden, with J.R. Smith was involved.
Yeah.
And he pretty much never recovered from that. That was when he was a number 2 or 3 player in the entire league. He got in a fist fight. He was suspended for a huge amount of games, and he never recovered. He finally made it to the Knicks. And the biggest mistake he ever made was criticizing Jeremy Lin's money.
Yes.
Because in pro sports, what's the one thing you don't talk about?
Somebody else's paycheck.
Damn right. Because guess what? If someone else is overrated and I'm a good player, I'm getting more money next time.
Noah, that may be the focal point of Carmelo Anthony. Why in the world the management would go to him, I realize it was his team at the time, but again, it's a long time ago, and say, do you think Jeremy Lin is worth $35 million?
No, I think it was a reporter.
Huh?
I think a reporter said, what do you think of his contract? And he said, ridiculous.
But the fact is, for that magical moment for a month or so, the Knicks were all of a sudden watchable and fun to watch, and Jeremy Lin was the reason why. And obviously, Carmelo must have gotten jealous and said, well, this is my team. I'm the star. I don't think this guy's worth $35 million. And so they got rid of him. And what a mistake that was.
This shows, all right, so I got 2 points. One is, I talked to Hall of Fame coach Pete Carroll when Linsanity was happening. Name drop number 2 of the episode.
It's unbelievable.
And I said, why, what do you think he's doing that's so good? Why is he such a sensation? And he literally said he does this. And he mimed just swinging the ball. So he just gives it up. The exact opposite of Melo, where he'll actually just move it on. He'll just move the ball.
Right, let's say this. It's now towards the end of September. Yep. Training camp opens up soon. Pretty soon we'll have an idea by, I'm saying, late November, early December. You'll be beginning to read the stories that Westbrook and Anthony just don't seem to understand. Remember, this is Westbrook's team. This is Westbrook's team, not Carmelo's team. If
the over-under for the first story coming out that they're unhappy with each other was January 1st, are you taking before or after?
It's going to be before.
I think before.
Yeah.
I think early December you're going to hear it.
Remember, the Knicks open up with Oklahoma City, and that'll be a love fest, and then all of a sudden it will quickly just fall apart. Because I'm telling you, man, this is how we're supposed to discuss this with Kyrie and with LeBron. These egos are out of control, and Anthony's ego is at. By the way, another thing is his wife going with him?
Well, that's they're in what's called a separation there.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, all right.
One final point I'll make is,
well, that'll make that separation final because she's not going to Oklahoma.
No, she's not a lot of media stuff there. So one point I'll make is I do feel like the Knicks had an opportunity when Phil left to just say, look, Phil's gone, the triangle's gone, we're going to run whole new stuff, we're going to start fresh, and I just think that the way that the Knicks treated Melo over what it seemed like they treated Melo in terms of letting Phil insult him and everything, just fractured the relationship too far where he couldn't even fathom coming back.
Well,
speaking of coming back, it's Sunday, and football is back, baby. And, one of the biggest stories coming into today is our fine commander-in-chief, the President of the United States, basically called anybody kneeling to protest racial inequality and police brutality.
I'm surprised he didn't take apart people who go to church because they kneel also.
Yeah. What about when you kneel at the end of the game to run the clock out?
Here's the irony about.
Wait, but we didn't even set the table. He called Colin Kaepernick and people like him an SOB. I'm not going to say the word. I'm too classy.
Yeah.
So my question is to the old school resident in chief here. Is this like the most outrageous thing you've ever seen from a politician in terms of
this
dipping into the sports world?
This, depending on your perspective, it sets either a new high or a new low in terms of political nonsense or trash talking. Because apparently President Trump, not to get too political here, either when he went to Wharton, didn't really get into the Bill of Rights or the First Amendment and freedom of speech. And the irony is the same amendment, First Amendment, which gives him the right to say outlandish stuff about Kaepernick and everybody else taking a knee, he doesn't seem to appreciate that it works both ways. Yeah. And that's why he's seeing all the pushback from all the NFL owners saying, we support our players. And I assume that I think Trump gets advice from somebody, whether it's Jared Kushner or his daughter or somebody, but somebody has said, no, your ratings will go much higher if you start saying these are fireable offenses, the same way your friend Jamil Hill from ESPN called him a white supremacist.
Yeah.
He should be fired. It's bizarre what's going on here. It's really bizarre. I don't think there's any precedent in the world of sports where a president has come in and said, this is just ridiculous.
Well, like before this, what's the most outrageous thing that a president said? And I can't remember any president in my lifetime saying anything beyond, "Wow, what a great championship team! Come over here for the picture."
Well,
that was the level.
I mean, I was thinking if there's anything close to this, because most presidents understand that sports really is sort of the opiate of the masses, and people love their sports. And you can talk about politics and Obamacare and voters' rights and civil rights, but that's one thing. Once you get to sports, man, now you're getting close to home. Many years ago, when President Nixon was riding high, and was a big sports fan.
Yeah.
He gave a play to Bruce Allen. George Allen, who was at that point the coach of the Redskins. And said, here's a really good play you can use in the Super Bowl. But that's as close as I can ever recall anybody getting involved into.
George Bush and Obama would pick their brackets, and they pretty much pick all chalk because they didn't want to be controversial in that way.
Yeah, but I mean, that's as close. The presidents understand you don't get mixed up with sports in a negative way.
What about not going to the White House? Has that ever been?
No, I don't recall that ever happening either. And it's just another, I think Trump is going to eventually just, as he always does, he'll back off that. But I can't recall any other time where a president invited a winning team, a championship team, to the White House for a reception, and the politics got in the way of this. I just don't recall it ever happening before. By the way, that's not a relative. I mean, it isn't like this has happened since the days of Abraham Lincoln. It wasn't like, they had NBA championships going to the White House back in the 50s. This
is more like 1900 on, or
I would say
1940 even.
I would say probably it started. I don't know for a fact. I would say it probably happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's not a long history of this, but I don't recall this ever happening. So, what about Tom Brady?
Oh, wait, did Tom Brady not go to the White House? We have a live studio audience today, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, did he not go with Obama?
That's right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Our producer, Alyssa Wolf, in the house.
Tom Brady didn't go to the White House, and then that Ravens guy didn't go because he was anti-Obama. But Tom Brady claimed...
Oh, and that other Ravens guy didn't go because he was busy murdering someone.
it's one thing if the players say they're busy and can't make it, but that's one thing as opposed to because Steph Curry said I ain't going, but it's for the president to lash back and say, you know what, it's just not going to work out.
I love and the 72 Dolphins didn't go because
Well, they got belatedly invited in 2013, and they decided not to go. And then they said something like, "If you don't have anything good to say about someone, don't say anything." Like it was all.
about Obama.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
point is that this is not
Finkel, Ray Finkel
Ray,
was on that team. The kicker laces out. So now we're totally derailed because of our very own stat boy over there. Actually, a strong addition to the program. I liked it. Thank you.
The fact is that this is just not going to, it's just turned upside down as a lose-lose. Everybody looks bad in this, and Trump obviously has instigated this. So you're not going to see any more athletes coming to the White House during his next few years in office.
Well, what's the resolution here? Like, could he do anything to say? I don't think he can go back now. He can't be like,
no, I just said he's not.
If you kneel in protest, you're done. You should be fired. And then a week later, go. Actually, just kidding.
Well, that's how he seems to operate. But I mean, he's got another 3 years in office. You're not going to see anybody going there to be have a reception in the White House. It's just not going to happen. The next presidential candidate, whoever the next president is going to say, "Oh, I love sports. I think all the athletes are able to do what they want to do, and quite frankly, I can't wait to have the NBA champs come to the White House."
If you were,
it's a political opportunity for the next presidency.
Let's say you were in a locker room, and you're on a team, and some of your teammates are protesting, and they either ask you to protest with or they don't. Would you do it? Because I think people are expecting today to see entire teams kneeling. Some sign of unity across the races to kind of show.
I got to tell you, I until Trump sort of fanned the flames, I think people sort of said, so what? I mean, Marshawn Lynch would said, Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders or LA Raiders. He said, I'm not going to stand. And he said, I haven't stood for years. Nobody paid attention to me.
Yeah.
Well, because you're Marshawn Lynch. But the point is that it's not a big deal.
But also Twittering. I find that Twitter and Instagram and Facebook have just polarized the country to an unbelievable extent because there's so much like gotcha and there's so much moral relativism. Like I saw something posted today that was like, you're not supposed to disrespect the flag, and then it went through the articles of how you're actually supposed to handle a flag. Like,
yes.
You're not supposed to put it on a uniform.
Right.
You're not supposed to put it on a costume.
You can't drop it on the floor. That kind
You're
of
not
stuff.
supposed to hold it horizontally.
Correct.
So they showed the big picture of it across the field.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of picks and chooses their own argument.
But no, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna see a filtering effect starting this fall and into the winter. They're going to be at the collegiate level. They're going to be players who aren't going to stand. They're going to be at the high school level. Kids who aren't going to stand. It's just going to filter down. And you know what? Oh, as a shock value, so and so isn't standing up for a junior varsity high school basketball game. So what? And they have other deviations. This guy Bruce Maxwell from the backup catcher for the Oakland Athletics who took a knee yesterday. Well, he pointed out that first of all, I'm white. Second of all, I'm a very big supporter of the armed forces. I put my hand over my heart. I'm really not protesting about racism. I'm protesting the fact that the country is divided. So I mean,
right?
It's gonna get so divided up into small segmentation. Eventually, the impact is going to be nominal. It's going to go away. It's not going to mean anything anymore.
I think potentially we're going to see a day this NFL season where the players do not come through the tunnel. I think it's happening.
Why wouldn't they do that?
They're going to strike en masse during the season
to
protest their treatment by the president, but also to say, "Yo, you got to pay us guaranteed contracts." I think they're going to. There's always the money sometimes.
I was just going to say, show me the money is what is here, and they may say,
"Well, it's a perfect time to do it now."
No, they're not going to do that because the owners are going to say, "Well, you understand, you're getting paid a lot of money to play." So if you
but it's like written on, it's they don't have guaranteed contracts and they're in the most dangerous sport.
I think that's an exaggeration. They will play and they will come out. They may do other things to show consolidation and unity, but they're definitely going to play. because that makes him look really bad, and they're not going to do that.
I think it's going to happen this season. Check in episode 26 when it happens. You owe me $100.
Let's hope that Carmelo Anthony leads the way in Oklahoma City, and he sits out.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think Melo's going to kill. I mean, he's going to kill, but then they are going to fight over the ball.
I'm telling you,
All
man.
right, what else do we have?
Oh, we're going to talk about this kid at the other end of the spectrum.
Oh,
this kid,
our favorite people.
Ryan Trahan, who's a freshman cross-country runner at Texas A&M,
Yep.
who was entrepreneurial
Yep.
and decided he's been selling this like a recyclable water bottle or refillable water bottle, and he's done like a little YouTube and some social media and stuff, and it's a nice little company he started.
Yep.
And then he was told by the NCAA, you understand you can't do that. And
Yeah, and
suddenly,
he goes, why not? What does that have to do with track?
Well, because it's under the NCAA rules, you cannot be a student in college and be running a business that somehow trades off on the school where you attend, or the school's name, or your name as being affiliated on the team. It is something out of the 19th century. It is just stupid because, believe it or not, there are those athletes who go to college to get, and this will be a new shock to you, kids who go to get an education.
Girls. Oh, sorry.
That's my point.
Beer.
To get an education. So at the end of 4 years, particularly if they study things like entrepreneurship and business and how to reach your market and sell a product, that maybe you can start your own company and be successful. So this kid's a freshman. He's a runner. The chances of him making any money or going pro after running at Texas A&M are negligible.
You can run anytime. Running's boring, number one. So it's a pretty clear-cut choice. He's got to run his company instead of the track.
So the kid decided finally, well, I'm just going to keep doing my little business, and maybe I can grow and expand this, and someday I'll be like as big as Nestle Water or Deer Park or Poland Spring.
Hey, this is great marketing, too.
Exactly. And, this is against the rules. So I believe the NCAA finally got together and said with Texas A&M, we'll reach a compromise with you on this, and you can't use.
What is it? Sell the bottles, but cut us in.
No. They said, I believe they said you cannot use or refer in your videos or your social to Texas A&M or you run at A&M, and you can't do that stuff, but you can do this. And I think they gave them like maybe a year to figure out how he's going to get rid of this company. But it was like so ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It's insane. And it's somebody actually using their mind and trying to be enterprising and entrepreneurial and all the things that you think of when you think of a student athlete, especially when they leave school. But if they're doing it in school, they should be congratulated. And we've spoken about this before, but this is the easiest fix to the pay-for-play situation in college athletics. You release everybody's own likeness. So if I want to go to University of Kentucky and Kentucky Honda wants to pay Noah Savage to stand there with a basketball on my hip and not wear a Kentucky uniform and endorse their car dealership, I can do that. That's me. That's the person. I can't wear Kentucky gear. It's so easy.
I think it's a very easy fix, and I agree with you, and it's short-sighted. And I put it this way, if this stuff with Trump weren't happening or with Carmelo being traded, I think you'd see a lot of national, more media talking about this kid, Ryan Trahan, who basically says, but I make a little money off this water bottle business, and now I can't do it because of the mean old evil NCAA. It is not only totally, it's paradoxical.
It's asinine, right?
The kid is going to college to learn how to grow his business.
And if you dig down to the root of amateurism, right? It's supposed to be, you're a student who goes to A&M. I'm a student who goes to Texas. We're running on the track. We both have to go to class. We're not paid. This isn't our full-time profession. So we have competitive equality to some degree.
Yeah.
So if I go, wait a second. Yeah, I lost the race to this guy, but come on, he's over there selling water bottles. How could I possibly be expected to run as fast as that guy? It has nothing to do with track.
The kid figured it out, and he said, no, I'm not going to make any money being a...
I thought I was competing against a track athlete, not a entrepreneur. How could I possibly? It's like so unrelated. It's crazy.
Speaking of Kentucky basketball, don't forget December 3rd they'll be playing Harvard.
Carleton. Oh, Harvard. Okay, I'll circle that one on the calendar. That's actually a winnable game for Harvard.
And Kentucky plays Carleton College of Ottawa next fall, an exhibition game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should go to it and do a live broadcast. I'll lay you 100-1 that Kentucky wins that game going away by 20 or more.
Okay.
You got anything else? Anything you want
That
to
is
plug?
it for this edition of Old School, New School. I think we covered quite a bit.
Wait, I want to shout myself out.
Oh, go ahead.
So the Ivy League hired me again.
Congratulations.
Supplemental coverage of the Ivy League tournament, and we're going to be doing a little Ivy League Hoops podcast for the league as well. I don't know if that's going to start right away in the season or in league play. That's yet to be figured out. But Rick, thanks for coming down.
I don't understand how you can do that because you'll be getting paid to do this, right?
Yeah.
Won't that get in the way of your
that's my
eligibility?
Favorite. Hold on. Here's my favorite. So if I ride the team bus and I get off the bus and I go in the locker room and play a game, which is the hardest thing in the world, high pressure, impossible.
Yeah.
No pay. But if I ride the team bus and I get off and I make a couple jokes on the radio and I get to eat in the green room and I'm hanging out and having Domino's, I get paid and there's no problem. How does that make any sense?
It's the American way, man. Ask President Trump.
Do less, make more. The American way.
When they have the national anthem before the Princeton basketball games, are you going to be standing up or taking a knee?
I'm too much of a chicken, so I'm going to be standing up. And always keep standing up for Old School, New School. Subscribe, download, rate, and review. We'll see you next time.